Welcome to the Musical Homestead. It's theory time. Grab your textbook and let's get started. Hi, my name's Jenny. If this is your first time at the Musical Homestead, do me a favor. Click the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our fun games and activities. You have found our theory course. Woohoo! Let me tell you what you need to know before we get started. This is our elementary theory track. It is geared towards kindergarten through 5th grade. So if you're older than that, 6th grade through adult, I want you to find our Theory Musica Track. I'm gonna link that in the description below. That one's perfect for you. Today, we are doing Unit 1B, which is on pages 4 and 5, so you gotta get your textbook out. And remember, the textbook that we're using is the Fundamentals of Piano Theory, the preparatory level. So open up your textbook and let's get started today. Now we're gonna learn about an eighth note. If you remember in our last lesson, we learned about notes having two parts. We had the stem right here, and we had the note head. But an eighth note has a third part. Do you see this little line right here? That is called a flag. So an eighth note has a stem. If it goes down, it goes in front of the note head. And if it goes up, it goes behind the note head. It has this filled in note head, and it has this little line right here that they call a flag. Eighth notes have 3 different parts. And as you can see, I have written an eighth note is equal to 1/2 of a count, or you can think about that as is equal to half of a quarter note. 2 eighth notes will equal 1 quarter note, so 1 eighth note equals half of a quarter note. And this is what an eighth note looks like when it's traveling by itself. Eighth notes are fun because we can spot them looking differently in music. I just showed you what an eighth note would look like when it was by itself. It has that little flag. So it still has our stem and our note head, but it has the flag. Sometimes eighth notes travel together in pairs, and I want to show you this. When you have 2 eighth notes that are together, we no longer have a flag. Instead, they are connected in what's called a beam. And this shows you that 2 eighth notes are going to equal a quarter note. We just talked about how they could travel by themselves and have a flag. And then when they travel together in a pair, they can be beamed together with this little beam. We have a fun game that we're going to demonstrate for you that we want you guys to try at home. We have 2 eighth notes. Can you guys show me your flags?
Eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth.
When they walk around by themselves, they have flags. Where's your flag, Rue? You have 2 flags.
Oh, I have 2.
Okay. When you see each other, they see another eighth note. Their flags turn into a beam, and now they go together.
Eighth note.
And then sometimes they want to split up again, so what do? They lose their beam and they get a flag. So show me your flag. Eighth note, and then maybe they want to join again. And now we're together, we have a beam. So this is one way you can practice the difference between eighth notes by themselves, having a flag. Show me flag. Only 1 flag, Rue.
Oh, sorry.
And then together with a beam. So try that with one of your friends. The last way eighth notes can travel is in a group of 4. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 eighth notes that are all beamed together. So they have this beam up here. 4 eighth notes are going to equal 1 half note. So the 3 different ways they can travel: by themselves, where they have the flag, and that's worth half of a count. In groups of 2 with a beam, and that's worth 1 count or 1 quarter note. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 in groups of 4 with a beam, and that would be worth a half note. The last note we're going to learn about is a dotted quarter note. You can see we have our quarter note. If I put my finger right here, we don't see the dot. We have our quarter note, we have our note head and our stem, and then we put a dot directly behind our note head. And that is what a dotted quarter note looks like. A dotted quarter note is going to be equal to 1.5 counts or beats. 1.5. Now, how does that work? Let's look down here. Our dotted quarter note can be equal to 3 eighth notes, 1 plus 1 plus 1, because each eighth note is worth half of a count. Or it can be equal to 1 quarter note plus 1 eighth note, 1.5. For now, I just want you to memorize that our dotted quarter note looks like this, a quarter note with a dot, and it gets 1.5 counts. Well, that concludes Unit 1. Now we know a bunch of different notes. We know how many counts they get. We know all the different parts of the notes. We've learned all these amazing things. There are 3 things I need you to do to further get all this information stuck in your head. Number 1, I want you to complete the pages that are in your textbook. Really important that you do that. Make sure you've done those correctly. Number 2, I'm going to link in some games in the description below that you can play. These games are going to be fun and they're going to be great ways to get all of this new information stuck in your head. Number 3, I want you to go to my website, themusicalhomestead.com. Up at the top, you'll see a tab that says Elementary Theory. Go to the preparatory level and find Unit 1. There's a bunch of pages there that can help you remember all of this information. It's kind of like a quick, easy access to all the information, so you don't have to look at this video again or open your book up. If you want, go ahead and print those out. I really think it's going to help you out. And there's even a game on the last page, so I can't wait for you to try that and see if you can do that. I hope you had fun today. I hope you're excited about your music journey, and I am so excited to be able to be doing it with you. Until I see you next time, remember, have fun learning music.